Welcome to Gerald Khalil's Conversation Piece. I share my thoughts on social content, sports, politics, and entertainment. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So before I go in, check out what I said back in October. And let's keep the focus on the Pacers and the Cavs. Number 5, the Pacers. I like what they did last year in beating the Knicks in 6 games. The team has a lot of offensive firepower in Halliburton and Pascal Siakam. They need to shore up their defense if they want to climb up the standings. Number 6, the Cavaliers. I have them this low because they made no roster moves to improve the team. The only real change was firing Coach J.B. Bickerstaff and hiring Kenny Atkinson. Forward Max Strus is out for a while, so they'll need their backups to pick up the slack. Outside of Donovan Mitchell, I just think this team lacks toughness. So I wasn't too far off. All right. I mean, you see some of those other picks that I had. I had Philly number 3. And that's really the only one that I had really that was bad. I had this was my top 8 for the East. Boston 1, New York 2, Philly 3, Milwaukee 4, Indy 5, Cleveland 6, Miami 7, and Orlando 8. The Miami one's not too bad. I mean, you know, who knew that Jimmy Butler wasn't going to be there, so they fell off. The Philly one was the only really bad one, but Joel Embiid, hey, he was hurt the whole year. What can you do? But I thought it was quite interesting. I had the Knicks so high at number 2, and I had Cleveland Cavs at 6 behind the Pacers. So, hey, what do you know? But getting into the Cavs, season's over. They got beat by the Pacers in 5 games. Last night, their effort was there, but the Pacers are just better team. Cavaliers, terrible from 3. They just could not hit. And not only last night were they bad, they were bad really for the series. And you figure, right, well, why in the heck all of a sudden they're not hitting threes? Wide open threes. Did it get too tough for them? Did they get tight? I guess that's the question. I believe they got tight. You know, when your back's against the wall, everyone's talking about you, that you're not a tough team. You're expected to do much more, but here you are on the brink of elimination. I think that may have played a factor. The defense was poor in the series. Indiana pretty much got what they wanted to. Max Strus, man, he was bad last night. And I was, to me, in the series, he was the second best Cav. Right, but, I don't know what happened to him. He went 0 for 9, 0 points. Bad game for Max Strus, but, that's not where the problems lie. Kenny Atkinson, totally outcoached by Rick Carlisle. You got to give props to Rick Carlisle. And give props to the Indiana Pacers. I think they're going to do well in the next series, whoever they play. Looks like it's going to be the Knicks. Would they be favored over the Knicks? I don't know. You could probably make it a toss-em, but Pacers are going to cause problems for whoever comes out of that series. Oh, and back to Rick Carlisle. He's a championship coach. If you remember Dallas Mavericks, he coached them to a championship. Totally outcoached Kenny Atkinson. This was Kenny Atkinson's first go-around as far as coaching in the playoffs. So hopefully he'll learn from it. So that brings me to where we are today and the comparisons of last year and this year. Last year, the Cavaliers lost in the second round They only won one game, lost to Boston. This year, they win 64 games, go to the second round, win only one game. So 2 straight years, you've gone through gentlemen sweeps. All right. And the front office of the Cavaliers, Kobe Altman, he said last year that the roster is great. There's no problem with the roster. It's the coach. Once I change the coach, you're going to see things take off. And for the regular season, he was correct. He got rid of J.B. Bickerstaff. He brings in Kenny Atkinson. And all of a sudden, the Cavaliers take off. Evan Mobley, he's unlocked, right? The offense is unlocked. There's scoring at a record pace. They win their first 15 games. They win 3 times where you have win streaks of 12 or more. That happened for the Cavaliers. So a lot of things. There was a lot of good, definitely in the regular season. But here we are in the playoffs, and you flame out. And I don't care what anyone says. That was a total disappointment. I don't care if you won 64 games in the regular season. I don't care if you swept a Miami Heat team that has no stars on their team. They had lost Jimmy Butler. They have issues scoring. Like, so what? You are supposed to go to the next level, and you didn't. All right? And this is all on Kobe Altman. Changes need to be made. And we understand that the team is hampered by the apron, but you're going to have to try to figure out something, because there's no longer the excuse that is the coach. I mean, we can keep changing coaches if you want, right? But it comes down to that roster. Now, you ask, what changes can be made? All right. What changes can be made to this roster? I know one thing they can use a backup big. That team has no backup bigs. I mean, unless you're counting Tristan Thompson, who's not in the rotation at all. They don't even use him, because it's almost like the first big that's really off the bench, if you want to call him a big, is DeAndre Hunter. After that, we're talking who we're talking next as a big? Oh, Dean Wade. I mean, no, you need a true big. You look at how the Pacers are put together. They have true bigs. All right. Another thing we could use is a true backup point guard. I've talked about Ty Jerome enough, and I'm not going to go into him too much today, because I've talked about him enough. What's missing from his game, but he's more of to me, a 2. He's not a guard who can really initiate an offense. And that's what you need, a backup. When you have Garland, when he's out or when he's on the bench, you need somebody who could really initiate the offense. Now, can Craig Porter Jr. do that? I personally like Craig Porter Jr. I think he can. Why not develop him more so that he can come off the bench and do it? And then also, you don't even know if you're going to be able to keep Ty Jerome, right? Someone offers him some money out there, and you're going to have to, so even before this series here, where Ty Jerome did not have a good series at all, you're wondering, well, will we be able to keep this guy? And, I don't know how much that changed. Maybe Ty Jerome, he wants to explore elsewhere. He doesn't want to stay around here. You got to look elsewhere. And I think Craig Porter Jr., you got to try these folks, right? Bench wings that can score. I already told you about Dean Wade. He's not a scorer. Isaac Okoro, not a scorer. They are not scorers. They're just not going to do it. Defensively, they're decent, but you need more 3-and-D guys. Now the Cavaliers kind of tried to address that with the DeAndre Hunter. Yes, great. Yeah, but you need more of that. You need more guys coming off the bench who can do that. They have too many small guards. Because you got Max. You have Max Juice. He starts, but you have who else you got? You got you got Okoro. Well, he's not a guard, but you have your Sam Merrill. That's what I'm trying to think. Yeah, Sam Merrill. You have him coming off the bench. And I like Sam Merrill, but you're going to have to figure a way how to get bigger, right? Taller, and you have to think more defensively. And speaking about Sam Merrill, he didn't even play last night. And I was wondering, why wasn't he playing? And I guess I heard that he had some sort of neck injury, but with them not hitting any 3-pointers, they definitely could have used him. But Sam Merrill, I like him, but if there's something that you have to do to get someone in here that's bigger, more a 3-and-D guy, offensively, I don't know. Maybe he's someone that you could dangle and say, okay, and package him up with some other folks and say, hey, here's Sam Merrill also, because we got to get some other folks. I would like in the future for them to start starting Hunter and bringing Strus off the bench. I think that will help. Move Jared Allen. I think it's time. Jared Allen is not going to get any better. You've seen what you've gotten out of Jared Allen. You go back 2 years ago to the Knicks series. Jared, he was totally, he even said it, the lights were too bright for him against New York. They just bullied him. Last year, against the Celtics, he didn't even play. All right? He didn't even play last year against them. And he had a rib injury. The team was perplexed about it, like, well, wait a minute, if we can give you this, you could probably get out there and play. He didn't want to do that. And then you got this year. And if you go and take a look at his stats for the last 2 games, games 4 and 5, that's just not good enough. So it's there. You're not going to change him. He's not the toughness, and he's a great guy. He's a good player, but they need toughness, and it is just not going to happen. It's time to move on. It's also time to move on from Wade and Okoro, if you can do it. Now, and I guess it's at a time like, good luck someone taking those contracts, but they're going to have to make moves, or they're going to be stuck in this. It's going to be the same thing next year. Right? You got bench wings who don't score. You have a center who's not physical and who's just mentally, he's just not tough. And it's been 3 straight years. with this whole core. Not good enough. Then I think about Darius Garland. The team is great with him offensively. Defensively, not so good. So you have a situation, and I said not so good. Actually, defensively in this series, terrible with him playing. They gave up I think like over 120 points averaging with him on the court. But offensively, if he would have been at full strength, or even say 80% of himself, I think the Cavs would have did well. But that's almost like the Cavs answer all the time. It's like, okay, well, let's outscore you. Our backcourt, we're going to outscore the other team. That's where we're going to make up for our defensive deficiencies. And they're going to have to change that up because other teams know they're going to like, okay, let's hunt out Darius Garland and put him in pick and roll and score against him. And also with the Cavaliers, get physical with him. And one other thing about Darius Garland, I question, it's like every year he's hurt. When it comes down to playoff times, he's hurt. It's just a fact so far. This year, it was the same thing. Last year, the year that they played the Knicks, the issue was he was new to the playoffs. He's going to have to get more mentally tough. And I think he can do it. And to me, he's too valuable of a player to move. I don't feel the same with Jared Allen. I think you can move him. I think you should move him. But that's the issue I have with Darius, where he needs to get more mentally tough. I think he needs to mature. I see some immaturity with him. And I think also he needs to get his body prepped more to go an 82-game season plus the playoffs. You just have to do it. So those are my opinions on this whole thing, as far as what the Cavs need to do, where their holes are. Physically, mentally, they got to get tougher. The East is wide open, right? Especially with the Jason Tatum situation now. Even the Celtics, they may make some moves to kind of reset a little bit. And so that's going to leave you with the Pacers, the Knicks, and I'm telling you, the Sixers will be back with Joel Embiid. But there's one thing that they have that the Cavs don't: mental and physical toughness. They've got to make some moves. They got to trade some players out. They got to get some folks who are mentally and physically tough. Let's see what happens next year. Leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. I'm Gerald Khalil. I'll see you in the next one.